it to this computer. It's good. What a sunny day.
I know.
It's nice. I got to get outside at some point today. And
I took my
enjoy this
dogs
weather.
out to the beach just about an hour ago. It was great.
What beach were you at?
It's called Gorton, Samuel Gorton Beach. It's right near my house. I'm like 2 blocks from the beach
Oh,
on
nice.
Warwick Neck, like North Warwick Neck.
Nice.
It's the bay. It's a beach, but it's really the bay too. So
Yeah,
they
but
love it.
it's just seeing the expanse and smelling the air. I have to get outside. I live 10 minutes, a 10-minute drive to the beach. Same thing. I haven't been out all week, so I hope to do that today.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm so glad that you're here today, kind of kicking off my December series with something that people are interested in. Before Dave and I get started, I'm going to give my digital marketing tip of the week. And it's actually the same thing that I put in my newsletter today. I've been talking a lot about, well, Dave, you're on a networking group with me as well. Like I do a lot of these Zoom networking sessions. And I mean, they go by so quickly. And if you haven't made the connection right during that time, you want to make sure that there's some way to invite people to get a little closer to you, to learn more about you. Maybe it's a scheduling link, which I adore scheduling links. But what I've been talking about recently is when we started our businesses, all of us, and I know you do a lot of graphic work, so we spend a lot of time getting our colors and our logos. And then the first thing we do is we go out and make business cards. And these days, everybody's business cards are sitting in a drawer someplace because we just aren't going out and handing them around. And so when I think about that, and I think about the different networking events that I've been attending, I realize now that your lead generator, your freebie, your whatever your invitation is for people to get on to your email list, that is actually your new business card. I would argue also your scheduler, but also this, like, so whatever you can create as a lead generator. So some people do PDFs, ebooks, videos, meditations, 10 tips, recipes, whatever it is that you're creating. That's an invitation for someone to get on your list. And then once they do, and you'd be surprised that a lot of people don't have this, but to have a welcome email that automatically sends thanking them for getting on your list. Here's what you promised them. You give them the link to the thing that you promised them. And you set an expectation. You've been added to my list. You're going to hear from me this often with this kind of content. It's designed to be of service to you. And if this does not serve you, then you are certainly welcome to unsubscribe. So it's a kind sort of business card. And what I'm going to do, so that's what I've been working a lot with my clients over the past couple months and over the next few months, is to like really dig into this generous way of attracting people into your world. Social media right now seems super loud and confusing and chaotic to me. I don't get energy from social media. It sucks my energy. But when I share on my email, when I sit to write down and to offer my readers a tip or a strategy or a new resource, that gives me energy because it feels really good. I'll pop into the chat for anyone who's listening over today or tomorrow. Today's December 3rd. Constant Contact right now is having an amazing deal that I need everybody to know about. If you are not using them yet, you can sign on to Constant Contact for 40% off for 6 months. And what I love about that is if you get the Email Plus version of you get to do you have your landing pages, you have the sequence that I just talked about where there's a welcome email, and then I usually put together another 4 parts to that. And I use Donald Miller's model for creating a 5-part nurture sequence. And with Constant Contact, what they have now is social media schedulers. So anyone who's paying for Buffer or Hootsuite or Sprout Social, if you get onto Constant Contact, they have this scheduler there. So it's an opportunity to maybe save some money. So that was my digital marketing tip of the week. And now I get to invite you to meet my friend Dave, who I met through a networking group that meets on Fridays with some of the most interesting,
Mm.
entertaining, smart people that I've met. But let me tell you about Dave. Dave is the owner of Englund Studio, and that's Englund. In April of 2002, he founded the studio in order to help businesses reach potential customers and increase retention. So he leverages his many years of design, marketing, and business experience to benefit his clients' marketing programs. Um, Lots of awards. I'm going to pop this into the chat as well. Rhode Island Design Hall of Fame, the Marcom Award for Branding Excellence, the American Design Award by Graphic Design USA. Like, this guy is no slouch. He's also the host of Wine with Dave, which I was very honored to be a guest on. It's a weekly live stream on Facebook. It's on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. I'll pop that into the chat as well. And you guys would love this. At the beginning of every episode, it's 15 minutes of Dave drinking wine, and then he reads these like strange did you know facts, and he's also like highlighting this day in history. So for people like me who are like addicted to trivia and factoids, you got to check this out. 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, Wine with Dave. And then he speaks to really interesting people too. I'm
Mm.
so honored to have you here, Dave. And
Thank
what
you.
I want to ask you is, when I asked you what your superpower is, you said you speak 6 languages.
Yes, there's a little joke in there. I speak 6 languages, social media languages:
Ah,
Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. That's the joke. There's
you
a
got
joke
me.
in there.
I
But that
get
is a
you.
language. And I look at all the social media channels as a new language, a new culture. You know, when you're on Instagram, there's certain Instagram speak. There's certain hashtags you use. There's certain times of day you post. There's certain people who are watching and following you, and they wouldn't follow you on Facebook. You go to Facebook, completely different world. Twitter, completely different. They're all into birds over there. You know, LinkedIn, they're all business suits. They're all suit and tie and power suits. So it is like entering another country. And I jokingly tell some new clients, I say, because they say, well, what should I be on? I'm overwhelmed. There's too many. I said,
Mm,
well, it's like giving birth to 6 kids. You know, you got the bottle of milk and you're pumping it into the Facebook, you're posting every day. Then I got to do Twitter, then I got to do Twitch, then I got to do Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, it drives you crazy. So it can wear you out, like what you were saying at the top of the show. It can be stressful.
do you have a
So
favorite?
yeah, I have a few. I love Facebook. I'm traditional, but LinkedIn, right up there. You know, it's Facebook and LinkedIn for me. I'm on Instagram. I have a personal fun favorite. Um, Twitch is becoming a thing. It's kind of like the Pinterest of live stream. You know, when you're on Pinterest, all of a sudden you want to build your own deck. You want to make your own candles. You want to do, you know, you get
Yeah.
lost in all the beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
Well, Twitch is like that, but live streaming. So I get lost on that. So Twitch is kind of a personal favorite.
I haven't been on Twitch yet.
Yeah, Twitch is good. Twitch is really good. You can set up your own channel. It's social. It's live. I watched this one woman do a digital painting, and her image is in the lower right corner, but the whole screen is her painting. The camera is on that second camera, and it's. I just put it on my TV. I just opened up the TV app, and you know I've got Apple TV or
Yeah.
whatever that TV. Just download the Twitch app, and you will get lost. So it's fun.
That's cool. That's awesome. So I like that. I liked your little twist. Like, I speak 6 languages. I'm like, oh, that's curious. And now
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Now you get it. Yeah.
Now you get it. So we were going to talk about, it's funny that you and I are talking right now because I just got off of watching Al Getler and Simon Hares were doing a live video on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about that tip that you and I have talked about in the group as well, of sending video messages through texting or messaging or email. And I think it seems like a really great idea. I'm not sure why I haven't implemented that yet. And I'm always surprised that more people aren't using it. Is that something that you use as well?
I'm starting to. I love it. It's Vidyard, and you can go there for free. VID, I believe it's Vidyard, is it?
Yep, yep, I got that. I'll put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
VIDYARD. And it's not fully embedded in the email, but imagine if you got an email and everyone gets them and it's just text. And you're bored. Then you open up one and it's like, I got a personal message for you, Susan. And you're like, all right, let me see. Dave did this thing. You open it. All of a sudden there's a video there. And there's a 3-second loop of me like kind of doing this with the play button. And I'm like, wow, what is that? You click on it and then it takes you to Vidyard, but it takes you to a full screen of me saying, Susan, it was great hanging out with you today. Hey, here's that link I promised I would send you and blah, 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 blah. It's a little more personal than just getting text. So Vidyard is great. We haven't started using it yet with our clients, but we will. Absolutely. It's huge, big changer.
I think so. I think so too. I put that down as one of my things to work into the work that I do more often. And I use Loom. Yep. I do use Loom for like if I need to tell a client if they're having trouble, like Susan, I can't find where I'm supposed to click for such and such. I'll use Loom and just show them right away. But I think this is a similar to that where it's just like, hey, I'm just thinking of you. Like right now, I'm just thinking of you.
Yeah, it's the same but better. We use Loom all the time to train, but Loom is now passe. There's always something that comes out better. But Vidyard,
what do you like better about Vidyard?
Because you're showing the video in the email. You're not just sending a link. Hey, click this link, and this will describe, how to update your website.
Gotcha.
Because you asked me, and here it is. Here's the link.
Gotcha.
It's different. It's the video, the actual video, and it's more clickable. People are more prone to click it. And imagine meeting someone for the first time and they might be a prospect and they get a video from you in an email. Right. It's not the full video. It's a looping video, but it's a teaser. Click it. You're more prone to be face-to-face with them.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. So I know we were going to talk about live stream today. How else do you use video and live streaming, either in your business or in the ways that you help your clients?
So we do traditional video. We're a marketing agency, little firm, 3 of us, 3.5 of us. The other half members comes and goes when they're free, but 3 members. And we do traditional like documentary style 30-second videos on businesses because it's all about telling a story. All right. And it's about pulling out the truth of that business and putting that video front and center on a homepage. So we do that. And then I've got Wine with Dave, which is live streaming, which I really definitely want to get into that today. And that's the only other thing I use it for, which goes on Facebook, LinkedIn. It goes all over the place. YouTube.
What are you using? What kind of platform are you using for that?
So I'm using Ecamm, which is ECAMM. And Ecamm is good. It's really good. Here's the thing that I like to talk about is there's the analogy of the Wizard of Oz. We all know the Wizard of Oz. And, our main characters go up and they finally get to Oz and they see the great and powerful Oz and the big bald head with the flames shooting up and how dare you come see Oz? And they're all afraid. And like, that's big brands back in the day, right? I mean, it was all this big thing. The logo's great. And believe me, I'm all for logo design. It's what I do. But it's all about the perfect, the fire, the flames, everything's perfect. And then you look over to the left and what do you see? You see a curtain that's shaking and there's a guy behind it and Toto goes over, grabs the curtain, is trying to expose him. Well, what Toto's really doing is He's showing the world what social media is for businesses.
Mm.
He's showing the real person behind the brand. That's what social media is. Big game changer. It's a big game changer because now you're not seeing all the perfect, pretty face. You're seeing people stumble through things, talking about their brand. I mean, a guy having a live show about his pizza restaurant. He could go live every Tuesday or every Wednesday night, pizza night, you know, and he goes live on his pizza Facebook page. And he just talks about how he just hired a new guy and he's introducing the new kid and he's the new delivery driver. Just a 10-second video. That's great. I know more about them. Or how we slice our pepperonis. He might think that's not interesting. That is so interesting to people. That's the guy shivering. That's the real wizard. The guy shivering behind the curtain, flubbing through, you know, cameras shaky, whatever. That's what people want to see about a business. And that gets you customers. Not really the big brand, sleek, slick look. It really is personality. And that's what live video does to people.
Well, I love that. And so there's two things, right? So I think that to break down anybody's resistance into two things, what I'm thinking would be, some people are still, even now that we're so used to this whole Zoom thing, there's still some resistance to kind of just showing up, right? To just like go live and talk about whatever. So there's that. And then the second thing is, I think you brought this out so beautifully just now, talking about the pizza person. Like, what you think is just ho hum is super interesting to people. I'd love to know, how do they, we watch a lot. My husband's a woodworker, so we watch a lot of those handcrafted shows, and we watch a lot of Pinterest and Instagram, like what people are doing, different techniques. So I think the idea is that if you're a business owner and you're in your zone of genius, you can't take it for granted that people won't be interested in what you have to do. Like, break it down to its very smallest viable thing to share, and go ahead and share it with consistency.
Yeah, there's one of our clients is Benjamin Moore, one of the paint stores. And we said, everyone wants to know how you mix a color. They're like, no, they don't. I'm like, yeah, they do. And we jokingly said, it's like waiting for paint to dry.
Yes.
That's like the typical phrase for something's going to be boring. And I'm like, no, it's not. So what we did is we prepared a live event on Facebook. Next Friday, we're going to have the birth of a color. And a lot of people showed up, and we didn't have big cameras. We were just doing an iPhone. We went in the back room, and the guy got the white, poured the white in, and then he squirted like a little pink and another color, but you couldn't see it because it shot in really quick.
Yeah.
And then he put the cap on, hammered it, brought it over to the machine, which is the XL 3000 machine, whatever it is, stuck it in, shut the door, start shaking. And we didn't know what it was. It was the birth of a color. That was part of live streaming, is coming up with really creative headings that people want to watch and see. So we didn't know it was going to be a boy or a girl. That was the cutesiness of it.
Gotcha.
It came out, guy gets the wrench or the screwdriver, opens up the top. It's all pink. It's this beautiful, like rich, like deep pink. Well, like, it's a girl, birth of a color. It was probably a 7-minute live video. We got way over 1,000 views. Didn't pay a penny, by the way. They didn't put any money towards paying to get that boosted. We just created an event, filmed it, and that was it. That was one of their biggest posts of the whole year.
Wow. And that was on Facebook? They live streamed that on Facebook?
They live streamed it on Facebook. Yeah, we had access to their account, so we went live through their account.
Yep.
But that was back in the day when it was just the iPhone. Now we do so much more. But I do have 3 techniques and tips to get great engagement.
Let's talk about it.
So the first thing is, if you're going live on Facebook, join Facebook groups that relate to your guests. And it would be really good to have a guest on. If you're afraid to go live, just get some guests. Ask people to be on your show. But go to the Facebook. So say, like, I had a female bodybuilder on a few weeks ago. I joined female bodybuilder Facebook groups, female nutrition, female vegan group, anything. I joined about 6 or 7 of them. So then that way, that audience wants to see the live video. So that's the first thing you do. And then you share the live feed. When you go live, while you're talking or while the person's talking, you move over to your other computer, you click on the link and you share it to that page. So that's the brilliant thing. And the trick is try to have a countdown timer before your show. Like on Wine with Dave, I have 8 minutes. It's not me on camera. It's just a countdown timer saying, 7 minutes and 53 seconds, 52, 51, and it counts down to 0. When it goes to 0, I'm on. And hey, welcome to Wine with Dave. Da, 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 da. But that 8-minute window, the reason why I do that is that gives me just enough time to share off to about 30 different pages. And I get between 800 and 2,000 views per episode for free. So imagine running an ad. You could not run an ad in any newspaper for free and get 2,000. You'd probably get 30,000 looks, but you'd have to pay for that. But you couldn't do that in any other medium other than live video.
How do you do your countdown timer? Is that with your eCam or is that a different
With
thing?
eCam, yep. And I don't think Facebook would have that, but what you could do is you could have, Facebook has an option where you go in and you click on live, and then there's a button in there in live where you can add a guest. It's new now. The only problem is it doesn't go to a business page. It can only go to your personal page, which is fine. You add a guest. Of course, you tell the person beforehand, I'm going to call you 5 minutes before. And they're like, great. Okay, just hang by your phone. Great. And then the show starts, and then you click the button, and then it has a list of all your friends, but they're top of the list because they're about to come on. You click it on literally on your phone. You just tap the button and they show up split screen. And that's how they come on. But if you want to have a timer, you can just rest your phone against a clock. If you want to do it that way, just have a little, have a stopwatch or some other browser open and just put this on a tripod so it's showing the timer. And then when it's done, just turn it around and there you are live. So there's clever ways to do it.
I'll have to give that some thought because I do like that. Now, as you know, because we're on it, I use Zoom. I use the Zoom webinar so that I can stream it onto Facebook. But I mean, I'm going to do a workaround. So maybe I go ahead and I start it. I'll have to figure this out, how I can do that with my guest. And
yeah, whenever you go live, just go live with play some music and then just have your camera facing, you'd have to adjust it so it's right. Have it like if you're working on a laptop, have it face your desktop with a timer. There's websites that have just timers and you could set it to 2 minutes countdown. And just
I could actually share my screen. I could do I know now we're problem solving on air here. I could
share your screen.
I could share my screen. Oh,
and
that's
then
a good
as it's counting down, but you are live.
Yeah.
But people are waiting for the show to start. It really already started. But meanwhile, you're being really quiet. Share. The other thing is when you go live, ask for a lot of comments and likes.
Right.
Where do you live? I don't really care where they live. It's interesting, but I get people. There's one guy comes on, Michael White. He's from Scotland. He tunes in every Wednesday night. It's 3 a.m. I get a guy from 29 Palms, California. He's on every week. I get Florida. I get Canada, Edmonton, Canada. I get a guy. So I'm actually getting out there. There's a lot of people who tune in. But when you ask for comments and likes and where are you from, when they type in something, it tells the Facebook bots that is a very engaging post.
Yeah.
So it has authority. That's what you want, authority. Then it keeps that feed. It keeps that live show in everyone's feed for many, many days. Even after it's live, it still stays in the feed. If there's only 3 or 4 comments, it's just going to die out pretty quick. So that's really the second tip. And something I say on the show, I say, give me a like. It's like dropping $1 in my hat. But if you click the share button, it's like dropping $20 in the hat. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So then they go, wow, I don't have to pay them, but really, if I share, Dave's really going to like that. As soon as I say that, and I can see in my window how many likes I have, I might have 10 likes at the start of the show. As soon as I say, give me some likes and shares, all of a sudden it's like 30, 40, 50 likes. It goes through the roof. People want to help out. So that really helps not just get likes, but the likes help you stay in everyone's feed for many, many more days later.
So let's just say that right now. If you're listening to this now or you're
Yeah.
listening to the replay, you guys, go ahead. Give us some likes. Give them some hearts. Give us
Give
some love.
likes. Yeah.
Comments, share.
Likes are good, but shares are love.
Oh, likes are good and shares are love.
And then the last point is to have the best engagement on live. There's been nothing better, but create a Facebook post, an event, a Facebook event, like you're having a baby shower or a birthday party. Create it and say, I'm going to go live on Friday at X amount of time, 3 p.m. And I'm going to give away 2 secrets I've never given away to anyone else. And I'm only doing it once this year. Or say something like that, that's got scarcity in it. Like I'm going to give that. You got to promise something and then deliver it. And people will say, yeah, because the button, you share it off to everybody and then they see the event, you know, Joe Smith is going to give away 7 secrets no house painter would ever tell their client.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I wonder what that is. So it says going, maybe, or not going.
Right.
And you're going to get people saying going, going, going. So then when they go live, when Joe goes live, giving his painting tips, all of a sudden you might forget about it. And then on that 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock on a Friday, ding, 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 your phone rings, like Joe just went live. Like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, let me watch. So you get more people show up. So promote the live event, then do the live event.
Right. So good. This is awesome stuff.
And it works. Works like a charm.
Well,
all
I've
the time.
seen that. I see that you have, you know, when you do your wine with Dave, you have all the systems and you have so many followers and so many engagers, and it kind of makes you like a celebrity too.
Yeah.
People get used to
it's kinda
seeing your
cool.
voice, seeing your face and hearing your voice, that you become like a character in their life.
It's true. I've been on networking through Zoom and I've had this happen quite a bit. They say, wait, you're the guy that does that wine thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, you don't realize it, but just because someone doesn't reach out to you and say, hey, I saw you last night.
Right.
Most people, they see you, but they don't bother to reach out to you and say, I saw you. But you have no idea the kind of notoriety you get. So it adds a lot of credibility.
Right. Right. Exactly. It's credibility. Our time has gone by so quickly.
Oh, man.
I want to make sure that people know where to learn more about you and kind of how they keep in touch with you.
So you can reach me at my website, englundstudio.com, ENGLUND studio.com. You can also go to Facebook. We have a Facebook page there as well. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, I'm wide open. I'm looking for guests for March. I'm booked up to February, but January and February, but I'm looking for guests for March. If you feel like you have a business that is very interesting and unique, and it's hard to get the message out, you'd be a perfect guest because we spend 45 minutes talking and I pull out all kinds of information about who you are. So you can go to Facebook and just type in Wine with Dave and you will see me.
I'm putting all of this information in the chat. I'm going to put your thing in there again. I've put it a couple of times, but it's good to put it in here again. Wine with Dave. And you don't have to drink wine. I didn't drink wine.
No, the last few weeks I was drinking water or tea. Sometimes it's whiskey. Sometimes last night was a glass of wine, first time in weeks, but it's just hanging out. That's just the name.
I know. It's nice. Well, I know too that you had Allie Tedeschi, and here's a shout out to Allie Tedeschi, and she was on your show talking about her Scout and Cellar wine.
Yes, Allie's great. She's actually a 2-time guest. She was on twice and did really well. Yeah, she got 1,600 views on that one video.
Awesome.
So for free, that's amazing. 1,600 strangers get to know about your business. I'm in.
Right.
You tell me that, I'm in.
There we go. I did a shout out to her on the Facebook group. Dave,
Cool.
Thank you so much for spending this almost lunchtime with me and going over this stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing you on our Friday morning call tomorrow. And if there's ever anything else I can do, let me know.
Yeah, thanks, Susan. Thank you so much. Take care.